Hermanas! Welcome back to another episode of the Hermana Hour with me, your older sister, Olivia. This episode is going to be the Q&A episode. I'm going to be answering a bunch of questions that you guys left me on my Snapchat and my Instagram. So we're going to go ahead and run through those along with a few just questions I thought that we should just run through so you guys get to know me a little bit better. And yeah, so we're going to go from there. I do also just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting my last episode. It was really nerve wracking to drop it, but I appreciate you guys so much for just checking it out and just even watching. I do also want to say, hopefully, in the next couple episodes, I will be getting a new mic. My mom did read me down the last episode. She was like, "You keep clacking." I do unfortunately have very long nails, so every single time I touch the mic, it's very clackety. So it's a little bit of free ASMR for you guys. If you like that, there you go. If you don't, I'm so sorry. Please leave a comment if it is something that bothers you. Like if it is really bad, please leave a comment. She's just judging me and reading me. So she's just being picky. But if it is something that bothers you guys, please leave a comment and then I will get a new mic. You know, it's just my little cheapy $20 mic from Walmart, but hopefully, we will be getting a new one soon. Before we jump into the questions, I just want to ask, how are you doing? How has everything been? How has life been these past 2 weeks? I haven't talked to you in a while. How has work been? Have you gone on any dates? Have you experienced anything fun? Let me know. I want to know all about you. I want to know how your month has been. Um, May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, if you didn't already know. And I know I kind of touched base the last episode a little bit, but I am actually a psychology major, so I'm a really big mental health advocate, especially for the Latino community. I just want to emphasize that you are not weak. If you feel like you need help, if you are struggling, please reach out to somebody. I am going to actually be putting a couple mental health links in the description below, so please feel free to check those out if that is something that you are needing at the moment. Um, and yeah, just know that you always have me here. Know that I'm proud of you and that you're doing great regardless of where you are in life. It's Life is a roller coaster, and the only way to get through it is one little loop de loop at a time. We're all getting through it together, but know you're getting through it, and that's all that matters. And I'm so proud of you. And thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so hopping into the questions, I am going to be reading them from my handy dandy iPad. She is pretty decked out. I love stickers. Like I love stickers. Most of these stickers still have the back on them. I just put a little piece of tape so that way I can reuse them. I'm kind of weird with them like that. Like I don't like to use my stickers. Does anybody else like that? Let me know. But okay, hopping into it, we're gonna read from the Snapchat questions. The very first one is, am I single? I am single. I'm actually newly single. I just got out of a relationship of 3.5 years. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of just taking my time, exploring myself again, finding myself, being independent. It's definitely new. It's definitely different. It's pretty crazy to be single as an adult. Like everything is so different. Like you have so many new opportunities. Like I don't know, guys. I haven't even, like I said, it's fairly new. I haven't even really experienced anything really single as an adult yet. So hopefully you guys will be along with me on that journey and I'll get to tell you all about it. So the next question I have is, do I believe in the law of attraction? This is actually such a good question. I didn't think I would get anything like this. So I totally believe in the law of attraction. I am somebody that definitely practices this on a daily. I used to call myself a pessimistic princess a lot just because I don't know, I would just tend to think that things wouldn't go my way, or it would just be easier to try to decide the decide the outcome before it actually happens. But the older I get, the more I realize being optimistic is actually way more beneficial for you. And the more that you think positive, the more positive things happen to you, and the more positive your life is gonna seem. If you're always thinking negative and you're always thinking down, obviously life is gonna seem that way. By focusing on maintaining that high frequency, good energy, you're actually helping manifest whatever it is that you're trying to do. So if you are putting negative energy into something, say you want to buy a new car and you're like, ah, but I just don't have the money for this, and I just don't. Of course, you're not gonna get it because you're negatively manifesting it. One of my biggest icks and one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to people like not thinking about how their words can manifest is when it comes to money. So when people are like, I'm broke. I'm just so broke. Ew, don't say that. That's so gross. Just say, I'm not where I want to be right now financially. I'm just not where I want to be financially. I'm not this. Don't say that you're broke. Because you're gonna have that broke mindset. You're gonna say, oh, I don't have money. You're manifesting brokenness, and that's not good. That's not cute. And and granted, everybody goes through a time of financial burden, but it's how you handle it, and it's how you choose to mentally take care of that. If you're saying, oh, I'm just so broke, I'm just so broke. Yeah, you are broke. You're broke mindset, you're broken energy, and you're broke financially. You could have $1 to your name, and guess what? You're not where you want to be financially. You're not broke. You're not broke. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're not broke. You're never gonna be broke. You're just not where you want to be financially. And I want you to take that little tip to the grave, please, because the way we think is gonna manifest our lives, and it is gonna show up. I hate that sentence. I hate that sentence. And it's such a ick whenever you're talking to a guy and he says, girl. But men don't know, you know? Men are silly, they don't know. You have to train them. You gotta train them, and that's okay. They scientifically thrive off of that. Before anybody gets mad, men scientifically thrive off of being trained and having some sense of order. You need to insert whip sound. You need to so that way they pay attention. And that's just science. Thank you. Next question. We have dead or alive, if you had to pick, who are you eating your last meal with? Oh my gosh. This is such a good question. Who would I want to eat my last meal with? I honestly don't know. That's such a good question because it's like, do I want to pull a family member and then like just see them in the next life, or am I gonna talk to somebody that like I've always wanted to talk to? I think it depends on how old I am when I'm having this meal, and it depends on how old that person is. You know what I'm saying? Because what if I'm still like a young whippersnapper and they're still young and handsome too? What if it was Michael B. Jordan? What if I could have my last meal with Michael B. Jordan and then I die tomorrow? Then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna shoot my shot. But what if it's like I'm like 85 years old? Hmm, I don't know. I think that depends on what stage of life I'm in. If it was tomorrow, probably Michael B. Jordan or Megan Thee Stallion. They're so beautiful to me. Um, oh, if I was old though, shit. Sorry not to drag this question out. Um, I really don't know. Probably a family member. If I was old, I'd probably be like my mom or like my grandparent, maybe my sister. You know, that'd probably be a good one. I would probably say maybe my sister, just so that way we could have a lunch, could have a last meal together before we spend an eternity together, you know? I feel like that would be really sweet. Okay, so next question is, where do I live and how old I am? I am from Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I am 22 years old. My birthday is February 26th, so actually just happened, but you know, we are in the era of the Taurus right now. Go Taurus. My moon's a Taurus. So I'm really feeling the effect of everything y'all got going on right now. If you're a Taurus, drop some horns in the chat. Next question is, am I closer with my mom or dad, and whose love did I want more? So I would say it was pretty equal when it came to being like a mama's girl, daddy's girl. It was just honestly whoever was home at the time. My parents were really busy growing up, So I was pretty equal, honestly. I would say I was kind of a mama's girl more growing up. And whose love did I want more? Probably like my mom's. Like I said, because I was a mama's girl, so I just always wanted to be around her. Always wanted to be like her, because she's just a really big role model in my life. She's a really strong person. She's like literally like the strongest person I know. So I would always strive to probably get her love if I were to see either of theirs. Okay, so now we're going to respond to the questions that you guys left me on Instagram. The first one says, what a wall said to another wall. I'm gonna repeat that. What a wall said to another wall. I don't know, so I'm gonna respond to them. What? That's my response. That's my answer is what? I really don't know what the wall said to the other wall. Hi? Meet me at the corner? I don't know. What did the wall say to the other wall? You guys let me know. The next question we have is, what is my type in one word? My God, y'all are getting so personal. My type in one word. I would have to say goofy or like caring, something along those lines, because I feel like that's kind of like caring on all levels. Okay, we'll say caring. Okay, because I can't really say like moreno or like morenito, like even though but I would just have to say like caring, like somebody that's really nice, that just cares, that takes time to care and listen about what you like and actually implements it into the relationship. Like, I don't know, someone that actually takes time to care about the things that you like, I guess. That's my type, and that sounds so baseline and generic, but yeah, I was just like caring, unfortunately. Okay, so then I have a couple questions that I did actually pull up online just because I thought they were kind of fun and we could go through them really quick together before we end the video. So, one of the first questions is, what is my biggest ick? My biggest ick, like I had said, is when people aren't careful with themselves, like in general, when people are sloppy. I hate a sloppy bitch. Like, I hate a sloppy bitch, especially if you're a man. Like, dirty bitch for no reason. Like, especially if like we're friends. That's something that I've come to kind of have a boundary with. If you're a dirty person, it's really just hard for me to respect you in general. Like I've had friends in the past that are just like really, and I don't, they're not dirty. Like they were filthy. Honestly, with all due respect, they were filthy, filthy, and it kind of just makes you lose respect for them as a person because you're like, damn, bitch, you don't care about anything. You don't care about anything, girl. And it's like really, it's just like what not what you want as a friend. So I definitely have to say somebody that's just sloppy, somebody that just doesn't care about themselves. It's definitely a really big ick of mine. If I had 20 hours to live, what would I do? If I had 20 hours, 24 hours to live, I think I would get in my car, gas it up, and drive. I would literally just ask my closest friends, come with me, get a bottle, get some goodies, and we're gonna drive around. And if that's all I have 24 hours to live, I'm gonna try to make it to the closest beach, and I'm gonna die at sunset or sunrise, whatever it is. But I'm gonna end up at a beach. I'm gonna just be with my friends. That's all I would want, honestly. Just to be with my loved ones and die on the water. Die at the water, I guess. Let's see. What is my guilty pleasure? One of my guilty pleasures is honestly going through my own social media like it's someone else. Like it's someone else stalking it. I go through my page like I just discovered a bad bitch. Like I'm like, oh my god, like I'd be watching my videos like I didn't post them. That's probably one of my guilty pleasures, unfortunately, is like going through my own social media. Like I just want to see how I'm being perceived to other people. Like it's like, oh, like did this song like really translate the way I wanted it to, or am I just delusional? And I'm a Pisces, so I'll let you do the math on that one actually. This next one is, what is my most embarrassing moment? I have so many. I have so many embarrassing moments. I think that sometimes they come back to me like Vietnam like flashbacks. Like sometimes I'll be doing things and it'll just like creep up on me and it'll be like boom, remember this time that you did this and you were and I literally have to take time to just recuperate because I get so embarrassed of being alive. Let's see. One of my most embarrassing moments. When I first started working at Corner Bakery, I didn't have non-slip shoes yet, right? So it was my very first day. And I'm there at 6 a.m. Hey, I'm there at 6 a.m., my very first shift. No non-slip shoes, and I'm walking through a very wet kitchen. And I turn the corner pretty fast, and boom, land on my ass and my elbows. I busted up my elbows because they have those big ass kitchen non-slip mats with all the holes in them, and it cut up my elbow. And I'm there on the floor just wet, and the kitchen staff is just looking at me like, mm, new girl. I wanted to disintegrate actually, and if I could have evaporated into the air, I think I would have. But unfortunately, I did not, and I was unable to. But yeah, and then the people that were like staring at me ended up being like really weird and ended up not even liking them. They were like talking shit, and it was weird. And you know what's crazy? And you know what's crazy? They were the only lesbians in that entire thing, and I was like, damn, bitch, you would have thought some solidarity, but no. No, the butch lesbians were being mean. The, bu- the butch lesbians were the mean girls. I was like, ah, out of everyone, I would have thought y'all to be the cool ones. The butch girls are being mean. Yeah, y'all made me a little disappointed. They made me a little disappointed with that one, but they got fired, so it's okay. Okay, so one of the next questions we have is from one of our besties, Alberto. If you guys don't already know him from TikTok, I am gonna put it up right here. So he went and said, when are we doing our podcast? Girl, I really, really, really want to bring him on. I'm thinking about doing maybe the 10th episode, possibly. Um, so yeah, also, if you see a little change, my microphone didn't record some of my stuff yesterday, so I'm re-editing and re-recording. So if everything looks a little different, different camera setting, everything, it's because it is different. Yes, you're right. I'm re-recording, unfortunately. So, but yes, bestie. So we are gonna go ahead and do that episode probably like the 10th to 15th. I want it to be really special just because, you are an influencer and you're big time. So I just want to just make it a really special episode. So if you guys like him and follow him as well, please go ahead and subscribe so that way you guys can watch that episode as well. Okay, the next question I got is, am I doing this for a purpose or just for entertainment? So my main purpose for this is just to educate and to be that big sister. There's not really any podcasts that are going on right now that are like sisterly, like there's sisters doing podcasts, but there's not anything that's really like this, I guess. So I was like, why not? I love giving advice to people. I'm usually the person people come to whenever they do need stuff. Um, and whether that's just girly, psychological, or just like in general, I just love to be the person to give advice and I love to help other people. So why not use my platform for that? And I don't know, I just think it's so fun. It's really good exposure therapy as well. It's getting me over a lot of my fears of talking and being perceived by other people because I hate being perceived. I actually hate being perceived. And if you've noticed, I've been looking over here instead of the camera. Like, I'm just a little nervous. I'm a little shy, but this is definitely helping me come out of my shell. So I appreciate you guys for being here and helping me come out of my little hermit shell. Okay, so the next question I have is, what is your ethnicities or ethnicity? So my mom is Mexican, and then my dad is Boricua Dominicana. So he's half, he's mixed, Puerto Rican, Dominican, and then my mom's Mexican. Yeah, just Caribbean. It's I don't know, it's really cool. I love like learning about my background. I love learning about my ancestors and stuff like that. And recently I learned that my grandpa from my dad's side was from Cibao, Dominican Republic, and I've been really trying to get into that because we don't know a lot about him. So that's like one of my favorite things to do is to like track down ancestry, and that's like another thing I get from my mom. Like we have in common. Um, but yeah, I just like love history. Like that's probably my favorite subject ever. I love history. And then especially when it's linked to you, like it just makes it so much more special. One of my Christmas gifts was actually the like ancestry DNA thing. And it's my favorite gift. I check it so frequently because it actually updates it updates your history, it updates the DNA, and it also updates like if you have any relatives in the area. So I just think it's really cool. If that's something that you're interested in, definitely check it out. I know a lot of people are like, oh, giving the government my DNA, and it's like, maybe they got it anyways. They're watching me right now. They watching you watch that porn. Watch that porn. They're watching us do everything. So I mean, the government already knows what you're doing. So why not just give them a little bit of your DNA? To know about your ancestors. Who cares? Another question I got is, what are some of my special interests? So I really like music. I like being creative. I like creating things. I like making my own jewelry. That's like one of my favorite things. I had a jewelry making phase through my undiagnosed ADHD. It was like my favorite thing for like a year, and then I moved on. And then before that, it was painting and sculpting. Um, Lately it's been content creating, so we'll see in 6 months if I'm still doing this. Well, but yeah, I don't know, I kind of just hop to different things. Like it's just like I said, that little undiagnosed ADHD. I love to collect hobbies. um but this one's actually been going pretty strong. I've been doing this one for a good while. So like I said, we'll just have to see. You'll just have to follow me along to see if I actually continue with this or if it's just a hobby. But some more things I'm interested in are, I really like the gym. It's just a good way for me to decompress at the end of the day. I feel like I have a lot of energy and it helps me feel good about myself. If I can't go to the gym, I do a lot of home workouts. Like I have a little yoga mat and a little Pilates bar, and I do just like little core exercises. Anything I can do here, or I'll walk the dogs, go outside for a little walk. But yeah, I would say like physical health is a really big snackies for healthier options. A lot of my Cheetos or Takis or anything like that have been like rice cakes. I'm really into popcorners. The white cheddar popcorners, ah, to die for. Like those are literal crack. And I get that big ass bag from a Target that should last me maybe a week. They're so good. And then I've been substituting like a lot of my candy. I've been substituting it for chocolate chips, the dark chocolate chips. Girl, a little handful with some cashews, bitch, that shit is buzz. I love, I like mixing chocolate with nuts too. So if that's something you like, girl, it's such a good substitute, and it's so it's so filling. You get those little snack baggies. Girl, that shit is so good. I'm just really into finding things that work for me. I'm a really picky eater. I like to snack. I hate breakfast. Literally, one of the only breakfast things I will eat like consistently is oatmeal. And funnily enough, it's because I like the texture, but I don't like I don't like textures of other things. So, like I said, it's just finding what works for you, especially if you're really particular like me. I'm just really picky. Okay. Another question I have is perk or Zan. This is submitted by one of my friends, and Gabriel, if you're watching this, you're so foul. I've never done either of those. The only thing I even know about perkies is that Sukiana puts them in her booty. She puts them in her booty. That's really all I know about perks. So I'm gonna have to say Zan because I know that you can take them to kind of like drink you before an airplane trip. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to say Xanax. Don't dox me. Am I wrong? Did I pick the wrong thing? You guys let me know. Would you guys pick the perky? I've never done either, so I really don't know. Really, really not that diverse in those types of drugs, unfortunately. Another question we have is, what is your sexuality? So I am pansexual. I don't really care about sexual orientation when it comes to the person I'm with, as long as you're a good person. And I'm attracted to you. Like, as long as I'm attracted to you, you're really nice to yourself and others. You could identify as a pickle and I'd be like, damn baby, like that's my pickle. But yeah, I really just don't care. I'm attracted to everybody. I think everybody's so beautiful, like men and women. Like, how can you choose? Like, as you can see, like Michael B. Jordan and Megan, call me at the same time. Let's make it happen. But yeah, I don't know. I just really don't care. I think everybody's so beautiful and like life is too short to just pick. But that's me. That's just the way I feel. Obviously we're born with what we feel, and if you guys choose to be straight, then that's your choice. You have to choose to be straight because you know, genetically well, we won't get into that. But okay, that's going to be the end of this episode. If you guys liked those questions or you saw your questions mentioned, please go ahead and leave a comment. It'd be so much appreciated. And I'm going to go ahead and drop those links for mental health awareness. Like I said, if it is something that you're interested in or you are needing service in, please do not hesitate to give me a text or reach out to any of these links that I am going to drop. I appreciate you so much for stopping by, Hermana. You have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.